I got engaged to a blind Duke. Episode 178. Gerald's office. Marin was staring at the bookshelf, frozen in surprise. The bookshelf slid to the side and a door appeared, then Gerald entered with a nonchalant expression and came back out. It seems like a secret room? Something only the family head should see. Marin quickly turned around and covered her eyes with both hands. I didn't see anything. Marin? As she turned her back, Gerald's voice came from behind her. Gerald. What am I supposed to do if you just show me something like this? You're not going to leave me anyway. Gerald, who answered matter-of-factly, gently embraced Marin from behind. What does that have to do with showing me that place? The warm feeling from behind calmed her startled heart. I already told my fiancé about the family secret, so the family head's chamber is nothing. As expected. It was the family head's chamber just as she had guessed. Is it really okay to show me this? Marin asked with a glimmer of hope. It's not. He answered firmly. I knew it. Marin quickly raised her hands again and covered her eyes tightly. She could feel him laughing silently behind her. You're going to be my wife anyway. There's nothing I can't show you. Even so, it means you can never leave now. His voice, dripping with deep obsession, slowly brushed against her ear. When a heavy sigh was added to it, Marin straightened her back at the strange feeling. Could you pick one, being obsessive or being seductive? He chuckled at Marin's words and took a step back from her. Only then did Marin relax her waist and turn around. Here, the diary you were curious about. Marin's eyes sparkled as she looked at the notebook, but then a thought occurred to her and she looked suspicious. I'm not supposed to see this either, right? It means you can never escape. Gerald pressed the notebook firmly into her hands. Yes, yes. Since she had no intention of leaving anyway, she would accept it. Marin took the notebook and sat on the long sofa. The 20th Duke seems like he was really smart. It seems so. He leaned against the desk and nodded in agreement. Besides, where do monsters come from? Did he write any other books? There are no books, just that diary. I see. Marin carefully opened to the page Gerald had marked with a bookmark. On the way back to the Duke's castle, I discovered a beautiful flower I had never seen before. It reaches up to the waist in height, and its petals emit a subtle light of 5 colors. Curious, I approached to pick it, but hazy fog blocked my path. It is poisonous. In an instant, all sounds disappeared. I struck the flower with all my might. The flower's stem is like steel. Dangerous, so dangerous, it is a demon beast. A week later, I cannot contain my joy at the return of sound. Until now, there has been no poison in the world that could stop our family secret. This demon beast is particularly dangerous to our family. I sought advice from the eccentric one from the north. He sent jewelry that would prevent plants from growing for 100 years. I will bury the northern jewelry in the ground to prevent demon beast flowers from blooming on this land. Marin read through the diary with admiration. Wow, so the reason that demon beast hasn't appeared all this time was because of the jewelry made in the north. She had been curious about why such a powerful demon beast that could endanger Gerald, who was praised as the Western Barrier, hadn't existed before, but it was all due to the 20th Duke's arrangements. That smart person had thought ahead to the future. The eccentric one from the north must have been the Northern Duke. The demon beast flower from 100 years ago was smaller and its poison could heal naturally, but the most frightening thing about demon beast flowers was that they evolved. Marin. Yes? Marin barely lifted her eyes from the diary and looked up at him. I'm more amazing. She tilted her head at his grumpy voice, wondering what he meant. I didn't hear you properly? Why do you always miss the important parts? I said I'm more capable than that 20th Duke. Gerald crossed his arms and glared at the diary with dissatisfied eyes. Marin's eyes widened and her lips moved soundlessly. She was so dumbfounded that words wouldn't come out easily. You know he passed away over 100 years ago, right? So? You're jealous of someone like that? Me? Jealous? He raised one eyebrow and asked back. Marin stared at him quietly without answering, then burst into laughter. He was so cute she could die. It felt like a lie that she had trembled with fear when she first met this man. Gerald is the best. Seeing his stern expression soften slightly, she continued. The demon beast flowers will take time to grow, right? I almost wish we hadn't killed them all if I had known this would happen, but then it would have been dangerous again. I'm going to check how much they've grown soon. They're persistent creatures. That's true. They've been around since 100 years ago. Marin stroked the diary once, then raised her gaze and looked at him with concern. You must be very careful when you go. Their abilities seem to evolve every time. Don't worry. Gerald approached and firmly grasped her hand. Even knowing how amazing he was, she felt anxious just thinking about the demon flower. That day when Gerald fought alone for her sake. She remembered that helpless day when all she could do was read books and pray for his safety. She couldn't forget his appearance as he slowly stiffened from the poison. Thinking of that time made her not want to send him away. But Gerald's will was too firm. For you and our child, I can do anything. I know. But research doesn't guarantee success, and we could adopt a child. She had been the one wanting a child, but somehow their positions had switched. Gerald seemed to sense this too, smiling as he pulled the notebook from her hands and tossed it aside. Ah, that important thing. You're more important. He lifted Marin and sat her on his lap, then frowned slightly. Haven't you been eating well lately? Why aren't you again? I'm not growing anymore. Marin blocked the nagging King Gerald's lips with her own, cutting off his lecture at the source. As if he had been aiming for this, the corners of his lips curved up slightly, but she was soon overwhelmed by him and didn't notice. Though the ground was still soft from days of rain, the sun was shining brightly after a long time, and the blue sky was high. The village woman who was busy milking the cow discovered her son and daughter secretly sneaking out hand in hand. Ronnie. Minnie. Where are you going? The two kids flinched their shoulders as if caught red-handed by Mom, then turned around with sheepish grins. You were there? Where were my little troublemakers trying to sneak off to? These kids had been cooped up inside the house because of the rain, so they must have been itching to get outside. To the village back field. The village woman put her hands on her hips and spoke with a stern face. Fine. But you absolutely cannot go to the mountain. Red-haired Ronnie covered his ears with both hands and shook his head vigorously. Ugh, I know already. How many times are you going to say it? The village woman sighed deeply watching her son brush off her words. Sam's death couldn't be told to the young children yet. She could only repeat that there was a scary wolf, so they absolutely must not climb the mountain. You think I don't know you're always dying to go to the mountain? There's a scary dash we won't go. We absolutely won't go. Minnie, let's go. Ronnie cut off Mom's words mid-sentence and pushed his younger sister Minnie. Yeah. Mom, I'm going with brother. All right, Minnie. You must hold brother's hand tight. Yeah. Minnie's red hair tied in two braids bounced cutely.